back to NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
He's just unbelievable. Like when you're backed in the corner, I've rode lots of calf roping horses. I've rode lots of great horses, some of the best there ever has been. And you cannot feel his heartbeat. You cannot feel him move. You can't feel anything. It's literally like you're sitting on the fence. I always say he hates a carnival. That's the only time I've ever That's the only time I've ever felt his heartbeat when I'm sitting on him, is when you ride by a carnival. He hates them.
Carnies freak a lot of people out. Good horses too.
Blame him.
Just the lights and stuff. If I can do my job, and my job is what I've practiced my whole life, keep my mind strong and, keep my mental game strong, I feel like I can still compete with these guys.
This is Brylan Bentley, and you're listening to NFR Extra.
Caleb Smidt, how goes it?
I've already done this. We did it earlier.
We did the round table. That's its own. That's its own beast.
Don't even try that.
On you. Yeah.
Dang it.
This is the fun part.
You
get a gold buckle, and then you get to talk to us. I mean, come on.
It's very fun.
Super duper.
He is pumped about this.
Enthusiasm aside. He brought his beautiful wife here with him too. So I mean, that's got to be halfway fun.
Yeah.
You got a little.
Has anybody got a hot shot?
Yeah.
We might need a hot shot. We got a calf that turned around in the lane here. Oh.
What have you had to endure while you're here?
A lot of talking, a lot of people asking me questions, a lot of pictures.
Did you answer them all correctly?
I guess.
Honestly?
I mean, they weren't true false, but I put out a pretty good answer.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
10.
So all joking aside, off mic, and I don't know if you'll admit this or not, but I want you to share with our listeners your practice schedule over the last 6 months.
Why does everybody ask me that question now? I put that out there too early. I should have come clean with that after my career was over. It's different. My practice sessions are with God now instead of a rope. It's tough on my body. Like I told him earlier, I mean, the amount of calves I ran, growing up and getting prepared for this level, there was nothing relaxed about it. It was full contact. It was as much try and as much heart as I had into it every single time. It didn't matter if I was running 1 or running 30. And I'm not one that goes to the gym all the time and works out and keeps my body healthy. I call myself all natural. And that's what it is. And it's I'm paying the price now. If I was to go to the practice pen and run, 20 calves, I probably wouldn't be able to get out of bed for 2 days. I'd look like I'm 80 years old and need a cane. But, it's what I've prepared myself for my whole life. And a buddy of mine told me, once you get to this age, I'm probably not going to get no better, so ain't no reason to practice. Just keep my mind strong, and I have the best horse to me. I'm not saying he's the best there ever was, but for me, he's the best, and he gives me a chance. So if I can do my job, and my job is what I've practiced my whole life, and keep my mind strong and, keep my mental game strong, I feel like I can still compete with these guys, and it's hard. I still want to practice. I still do. I mean, when it's not going good, like it has this winter, I can still, run 3 or 4 calves, once or twice a week. And I feel like that's just what I need. I still have my yellow practice horse that I've rode for throughout my whole PRCA career. I've had him for 10 plus years, and he's pretty much the only practice horse I've ever had. I mean, if I wanted to run 30 on him, I'd run 30. If I want to run 1 on him, I just run 1. And that's just how I've, stayed strong and stayed sharp. But if I didn't have pockets, I mean, none of this would be possible. And the faith that I, put into God to, give me the ability that I have. I mean, I'd just have to quit because I wouldn't be able to compete. But the horse, he's unbelievable. I mean, I'm back in there and do not worry about him one bit. I mean, it's all on me.
How long do you see yourself or want to be competitive on this level?
Don't look at her.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, and I haven't wanted to say it, because I'm not completely persuaded yet, but it's close.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Family, health. I mean, it's all just starting to play into a big factor.
Right.
And I've told a few people, that this is my last year, but I don't want that to get out because
Sure.
I'm not.
Right.
I don't want to be the guy that retires every year. And
no,
then
we won't
comes
air
back.
We won't put it
Yeah,
on a
we won't.
podcast or
And
anything.
when I do retire,
It's just us talking.
Yeah.
when I do retire, I'm not coming back. I don't want to be that guy.
Sure.
That 3 years later is like, oh, Caleb Smith's
He's
back.
cracking back
Yeah.
out. Here comes Smidt.
Yeah,
Right.
like he still wants more or whatever. I mean, when I would quit, I want to know I'm done.
Right.
And I think, God will tell me that.
We'll
And
transition to family here in just a second, but I'm really intrigued by your horse because literally I don't fan on other people's horses, but he literally seems like when you get done, you could go put a kid on him and just go ride around the midway and he would be fine. Like, is that truly his demeanor? Because he
Yeah.
looks like until you drop your hand, like he doesn't have a care in the world.
Neither one of us do.
Yeah.
But yes, that's him. He's so lazy. He's just unbelievable. Like when you're backed in the corner, I've rode lots of calf roping horses. I've rode lots of great horses, some of the best there ever has been. And you cannot feel his heartbeat. You cannot feel him move. You can't feel anything. It's literally like you're sitting on the fence. And that's his whole demeanor. I always say he hates a carnival. That's the only time I've ever
Really?
That's the only time I've ever felt his heartbeat when I'm sitting on him. Is when you ride by a carnival, he hates them.
Carnies freak a lot of people out. Good horses
I don't
too.
blame him.
Just
Yeah.
the lights and stuff. When I first got him, he didn't love the buildings. The first place I took him was San Antonio, and I was pretty nervous. I guess I felt his heartbeat there, but he still, when I backed him in the corner, he relaxed. He knew he was supposed to be there. He knew what he was doing. But just riding around, all the people and stuff. And he had been to a few rodeos. Ian took him to Denver and Pendleton and stuff like that. I mean, he had been rodeoing for a couple of years, just not like I rodeoed on him. But he's super laid back. I mean, the most laid. When you quit kicking or asking him to go, he's going to stop and he's not going to move again until you make him. And my kids ride him. I can tie him up and he's never once not going to hurt my kids. He might step on their toe or something, but they can crawl all over him. They can run into him, run into his back legs, whatever. He's not going to kick. He's a very friendly horse. And he's like a dog that you can bring in your house and he'd lay on your couch all day and not do nothing. I mean, that's what he does.
What'd you say your favorite color of horse was?
Gentle.
He's very gentle.
Yeah.
Super gentle. I mean,
Yeah.
you can, I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, my kids can get in the stall with him and I would leave him.
How old is he?
He's 16 this year.
Okay. All right.
I've had him since he was 7.
So is it safe to say he'll retire with you and become a kid's horse?
He'll never leave my house.
Yeah. Is that something that you feel kind of obligated to keep going for him until you feel like he's done, or is that just, it's not one of those?
He's ready to be done, I promise you.
All right. All right.
Me and him have been to plenty of rodeos. He
Yeah.
has no regrets. He does not want to go to another one, I promise you.
He didn't stay out too late one time?
No, he's done. I mean, when I'm done, he's going to be perfectly okay with it
Yeah.
and just sit in the pasture. But
Let the kids crawl on him.
yeah, but like my kids hate to ride him because he won't go. They can't. They can't.
No, he has to do something, Dad.
Yes, he can't. They cannot kick him hard enough to make him go. And when I lead him, it's like leading a
Snail.
a log.
broken horse.
Right.
Like he walks so slow, and I mean, Crew's about the only one that's old enough to make him go now, and he's so rough. He's a big, fat, short-bodied horse that is rough as all get out. It's like riding a pogo stick,
Yeah.
and he's miserable to ride. I ain't gonna lie.
There's
When
Go
he
ahead.
runs, he's so smooth to a calf, but loping him around, warming him up, you kick him the whole time, and it's like riding a square-wheeled wagon.
I'm curious to know. Your wife is writing a book, and I can see Louis Vuitton at the top. What is my budget? All right, I'm going to read this. Caleb always compliments and praises Pockets, but Caleb made Pockets the horse that he is. Oh, he takes the best care of him and loves him and has given him the confidence, and Pockets wouldn't be the best without him.
I told you I'd interview her.
I know. No kidding. We should. You want to get up here and talk a little bit? Come on. That's awesome. So so go back to that. You've had that horse. He's 16. You had him since he was 7. Talk a little bit more about Pockets.
How'd you find him?
So I got hurt in 14. I didn't rodeo. I broke my leg and dislocated my ankle, and I pretty much, just to survive, I just got married. We didn't have much. I made the finals in 13, my rookie year, and I don't know, won 30,000 or so, but that doesn't last long when, you can't do anything. It's not like the PRCA was giving me money when I was hurt.
Right.
I didn't have no layaway or, time off. So I pretty much sold all my horses. I had 2 decent calf horses, the horse I rode at the finals and another bay horse, and I sold both them and just lived off that. And then I got hurt in May, didn't rope till November, December, and a buddy of mine, Gib Morsack, had a little bay horse that, was just a good horse, and I ended up buying him for, I don't know, 15,000, 20,000. That's pretty cheap for a finished calf horse these days. But I rode him at a few rodeos, rode him at circuit finals, like Mike Johnson's roping in January and through February. And I was just kind of looking for a horse, but didn't have, 100,000, 150,000 to spend. And Jake Pratt actually told me, he's like, hey, I think I know where a decent horse is. He said, I hadn't seen him a lot. Nobody really has, but I think he's be worth trying. I was like, all right, where's he at? And he's like, Wyoming. I'm like, oh, awesome. So,
That's close.
But he was like, Ian Wells is who owned him. He bought him from Dustin Mitchell, who's a cutting horse guy. Dustin bought him when he was a colt, cut on him until he was like 4 years old, and then sold him to Ian Wells. And Ian started him from start to finish, from what I know. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ian and me are the only ones to ever rope cabs on him besides, the guys I let ride. But Ian started him from start to finish and hauled him around for a couple years. He's got pictures riding him at Pinoca in California and stuff. And Jake just said, he's a decent horse or whatever. So Ian has a place in Stephenville. He's like, he's coming down here in February, and I'll set it up. You can ride him. So he made it down there, and I went to Pratt's house, and coming from Wyoming, he had hair, just 4 inches long, and he was a big old fat thing, which he still is. I mean, he eats dirt, I think. And just looking at him, obviously you're going to take your first, glance at him, and I'm like, ooh. But the moment I stepped on him, I mean, he was awesome. I mean, just the coolest horse I've ever rode. And when I rode my first calf on him, it was like riding a spaceship, man. I mean, that sucker worked. And my dad was with me, and my dad's a horseman. I mean, he can look at a horse. And I remember loping him around, just warming him up. And when I just kind of picked up and sat down, I mean, this sucker melted in the ground. And my dad was like, you sure you can ride that horse? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to try. And I ran 3 or 4 calves on him that day. And, I mean, it was awesome. And then I asked Ian, if I could take him to a rodeo. I'd never seen him at a rodeo in a perf or whatever, if they'll work. And I took him to Belton, and I was like, if he works here, I mean, I'm going to buy him. And I missed. And I'm like, this is awesome.
This is how the story begins.
Yeah. So
You and me, buddy.
so I ended up buying him. I get 50,000 for him. And looking back on what I won on him, I mean, I should have give 500,000 for him.
Pretty good return on your investment.
Yeah, I mean, but he's just the most amazing horse. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the best horse, but was the best horse for me. I've rode a lot of great horses through my career, and I mean, they're great. They're just as good as he is, but I'm not going to say that they were the best for me. I mean, I won a lot of money on great horses, my friends' horses, and they're great. I mean, they're just as good, maybe better than him, but for what he's done for me and what I've done for him and what we've accomplished, I mean, obviously you can't say that there was a better horse out there for me.
Well, I think the other testament, too, is you guys have done this over close to a decade now, and he's been sound. So you've really taken care of one another, which is awesome, because if you don't have a good horse, don't even go. Yeah,
but I mean, he's built for it. He's the biggest horse. The only other horse that I've thought that was his size was Deputy, that Trevor Brazil rode, and I've rode that horse. And,
is that the Sorrel horse?
The one he rode the last, 6-7 NFRs he went to. But they're just big, They don't make horses like that no more. I mean, you just look at Pockets, and he's big-boned. I mean, he's solid. He weighs 1,300. And, I mean, what we do to him, a little horse is not going to take it. Yeah. And I think that's what's made him last as long as he has. And he's sound. And, I try to take care of him. But I let him be a horse, too. He don't sit in a stall. He doesn't. He's out in the pasture. He gets rained on. He lives to be a horse. Right. I'm not trying to turn him into a human or, a robot or anything like that. I just let him be a horse, and I've always let him be a calf horse. I've never tried to change him. I've never tried to fix him. I've never tried to, change him would be the best way. I just let him do what he does. And for me, it's perfect.
Yeah. It's kind of like any other relationship, like with, your wife or whatever else. It's like, maybe nobody else likes her, but she works great for me. Like, we got a thing.
Really?
No, but like with my wife, too. I mean, that's the thing with the horse.
She leaves you outside to get rained on. And
No. Yes, she does sometimes.
He probably prefers to be a caveman. It's
exactly.
Steve.
Yeah, exactly. But and you hear that too. Like, we've had an opportunity to talk to a lot of horse trainers who are like, we just didn't get along with that horse. Like, some people just don't get along with horses, and there's nothing wrong with that horse, but they go somewhere else and they do a different job and they do that, and then so like that just for you and that horse, it was just this works. Like, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I've let people ride him that they might not ever want anything on him.
Right.
I mean, Marty gets along with him unbelievable. He's won lots of money on him. But I have let people on, and it's not very good.
Really?
It's not their deal, but he's my deal.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. When the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo is in town in December, it's also time to celebrate the Western lifestyle with the Cowboy Channel Cowboy Christmas. Catch live shows on the Ariat Rodeo live stage, check out the Yeti Junior World Finals, get close up with the NFR contestant autograph sessions, and enjoy the entire day. And shopping, there's something for everyone. Create your memories in Vegas. The Cowboy Channel Cowboy Christmas, located on levels 1 and 2 in the South Halls of the Las Vegas Convention Center. It's all here. So how many kids do you guys have?
3.
3?
Crew, Mila, and Chaz.
How old are they?
7, 4, and 18, 19 months.
Okay. So did I hear Crew killed an elk? Is that true?
Yeah.
Where was that at?
My father-in-law has a ranch in Fort Stockton.
Okay.
And there's elk out there.
Really?
And
in Fort Stockton?
And we didn't put them out there. They're free-range elk.
Holy cow.
All over West Texas. It's unbelievable. I never knew it either till I ended up out there. It's the coolest thing ever.
Pretty big size?
Oh, yeah. I killed one a couple years ago that went like 370.
Holy cow.
Very nice.
And they've killed the ranches next to us. I know that 2 they've killed over 400 inches.
Wow.
I mean, there's big elk.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, because I've been in Texas my whole life. Never once thought that there was elk in Texas. And then we ended up out there on that ranch, and they're everywhere. I mean, lots of them. It's not like it's a rare sighting when you see one. I mean, we hunt them. We'll shoot, I don't know, 15, 20 a year just on that ranch.
Oh, wow.
But they're free range.
Right.
They're exotics.
Right.
You can shoot them at night. I can go out there and shoot one right now if I wanted to.
Huh.
I mean, they're like a pig or axis or anything. I mean, you don't have to have, all you need is, I don't even think you got to have a hunt license. You just got to have a gun.
Fort Stockton it is.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's one of my favorite places to be. And yeah, we took Crew out there, and he's worse than. I mean, I love to hunt. I mean, it's my passion. And when after December, if you need me, it's gonna be hard to find me unless you're hunting with me. But he's worse than me about killing things. I mean, he wants to shoot everything, and
As one should be at,
Yep.
at 9 years old.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah. So it was kind of funny because he was riding around with me at first. We were just kind of easing around. It was middle of the day, and every elk we seen, he wanted to shoot it. And I'm like, no, you can't shoot that. Like we just managed the whole ranch.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we went by, I don't know, 30 elk, and he's like, can I shoot that one? Can I shoot that one? No. you
why are we
cannot
here
shoot.
then? Why
Yeah.
are we here?
So my father-in-law was in front of us, and he's like, I'm going to ride with Pop. I'm like, whatever. So I send him on up there, and we're just following him, and I swear to you, it was not 5 minutes. And these cows jump up in this spike, and there's like a trade out there. They have like unicorns. I don't know if y'all seen it, but it's just it's a gene that's out there. It was there when we got there, but a horn will come out front, and we just shoot them all just for management because it's ugly as all get out.
Get that out of the gene pool. Yeah.
And I mean, I swear it wasn't 5 minutes. These cows jump up, and this spike elk comes, and he's got a horn coming out. And I see him, and my father-in-law sees him and stops, and that elk stops. I don't know, he's about 150 yards, and he holds Crew up, and he lays the gun he had this door open between the door and the frame of the truck, and I mean, shoots him and smokes him just right in the shoulder. And they were kind of up on a little ridge, and I thought they went over the ridge. So we jump in the truck, and we're hauling butt. Well, he didn't go over the ridge. He went down. He didn't run 30 yards and went down, and this kid was so excited. I mean, he jumped out of that truck. He was running around. It's the happiest I've ever seen him, and he was excited. But, I mean, a kid at 7 years old shoots an elk one shot and was done with a 7mm 08. I mean, it was crazy. But he was excited. But he don't want to hunt with me no more.
Yeah.
I don't let him shoot nothing. But my father-in-law, which he could shoot whatever he wanted, and my father-in-law ain't going to get mad at him. But just kind of how it happened, he was with me for 3 hours, and I told him no every single time. And
5 minutes later.
5 minutes later, I swear these elk run right across in front of us, and I'm like, are you kidding me? But, yeah, but he could shoot whatever he wants. My father-in-law ain't going to get mad at him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dad
So-
drives around and hunts. Grandpa shoots.
Yeah.
So what are they all into?
Cruising anything and everything. None of them, our Crew hadn't really got into roping. He loves to ride, but he's so dangerous and wild that anything dangerous he wants to do, like that guy hanging on these.
Oh, yeah, those cleaning the windows.
That's all him.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, yeah, I want to do that. I mean, any roller coaster ride, anything that looks kind of dangerous, he's into it. So roping is just kind of boring. Running a horse around the arena and through ditches and across the pasture as fast as he can make them go, that's exciting for him, and that's what he wants to do. And drive dangerous. He can drive anything. Buggies, trucks. I mean, the faster the better. The more dangerous the better. I mean, that's just him. And he's wild. He's very wild. But Mila, she's just the sweetest thing ever. She just wants you to hold her and love on her. And it's awesome. She's changed my life.
Daddy's girl.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I mean, she's all about me and just wants me to hold her, take her everywhere, and it's awesome. But she likes to ride. She's not near as dangerous as Crew is. She wants you to kind of take care of her. Crew wants you to turn him loose and see if he can get hurt, I guess. But she's awesome. I mean, she's just the sweetest little thing. And then Chaz, the youngest one, he's, I don't know, the greatest baby ever, happiest baby ever. He just smiles at you. He'd go to anybody, let him hold him. He's pretty cool.
Is that enough? 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 was okay, but
Yeah.
when we had the third one, it was like we had 4 more.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he was probably the easiest one. I mean, he was happy all the time. You could just set him down and he's perfectly fine. But just, I don't know, maybe the other 2 made it worse but it was like we had a whole herd of them
Yeah.
instead of just 3.
That's when it's so funny because as you progress, I have 3 kids too. And it's like, somebody's like, oh, we have a kid. We have 1 child. And it's always like, shh, You don't know what you're talking about. It's almost like talking to somebody that's like, well, I have a girlfriend. It's like, you're single essentially. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
After 3 kids, I think 3 to 6, it's all the same, in my opinion. But I don't have 6.
Well, the thing too is like when you get to that stage, you think about the things you've thought about when you were dating, and
Yeah.
it's like that wasn't even a fight.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? You
Right.
fighting over where to go eat dinner?
Yeah.
Like that's no. That's
So you-
funny.
Talking about this deal with you, when you eventually do retire on this, you are pretty heavy into the cattle side of things too, right?
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do after this rodeo. It's
Yeah.
probably one of the reasons I haven't already retired. I got to figure out how to support my wife and family. And I don't know, I just hadn't really got deep enough in it, I guess, to where I feel like I can retire and still make a living doing something. But yeah, I got into it pretty heavy this last year or two. I run, I don't know, 350, 400 mama cows, and then I've got into the yearling deal this year. And I mean, I think I'm getting to where I can retire and, you know, still do this, but I haven't got to that piece about it yet. So that's why I'm still rodeoing, I guess.
You spring calf? Are you spring calf or fall calf on your mama cows?
We take a baby calf in the rain any day we can get it.
Yeah. All right.
No, we don't. I mean, down there where I'm from, winter's not terrible.
Yeah.
So we leave our bulls out year round, and we have spring calves, fall calves. I mean,
All of them.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take a rain and a baby calf any day.
Yeah. Well, this now it's going to be kind of fun to be a cattleman. We're actually getting paid for running them things. So
Yep.
but this year's checks and next year's checks, a guy might be a little bit more optimistic about.
Yeah, really, if you've been in the cattle business, and I mean, I got in when we bought, you know, I don't have no fancy cows, but I got decent cows for $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're selling calves off of them for $1,300 to $1,600 a
Right.
piece. I mean, it's pretty good now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you know, when I first got them, you know, a good calf was worth $700-800. You know it, but I'd hate to know. I wanted to get in now
Mm-mm.
because it is silly expensive.
And sell all your cows, sow your hay, and lease your grass out, and that's, I mean,
That'd be a better way to do it than
Yeah.
stocking it.
right now, exactly. But
Well, Caleb, thank you so much. This has been awesome, and your wife didn't have to step in and finish for you. So congratulations on world title number 4, and we look forward to seeing what the rest of the year brings.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit NFRexperience.com, and we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.